Welcome and welcome back to Find Natural Hair Rocks, where your search for solid natural hair, beauty, and life success advice tips stops. Subscribe right now if you're ambitious, you love natural hair, and you really just want to become the very best version of yourself. Go ahead and hit up that notification bell button as well too if you want to be updated every single time I post a new video, which is usually Sundays. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lavinia Latham and I'm a human rights lawyer with Find Natural Hair. Before my big chop in March 2009, I had overly processed hair from relaxers, it was thin, and it was literally stuck at a choppy ear length. When I say choppy, I mean like long, short, like all kinds of different lengths all across my entire head. It was terrible. Once I went natural in March 2009, my hair began to flourish. I really started to see a lot of length retention, but then I hit another plateau and I literally got stuck at around shoulder length for like a very long time. Once I went natural in March 2009, my length retention really started to show. But I hit another hair length plateau when it just got stuck around shoulder length. And that's because of, excessive tangling and shedding and breakage. And all of that was attributed to my split ends, which I had no control over. I finally figured it out, and now I'm starting to retain length at the rate that I should be retaining my length at. If you want to know exactly how I managed to get off of the broken split end train and onto the length retention, knowing what works train, then definitely keep on watching. So first and foremost, you're really gonna wanna ensure that you're moisturizing your hair, starting off with either water or a product that has water in it as the first top ingredient. Also, it matters how often you moisturize your hair. So at this point in my regimen, I'm going ahead and feeling my hair, trying to understand exactly how it feels dry versus how it feels fully moisturized. As you start to touch your hair more, as you start to understand what's going on with your unique, beautiful head of hair, you will also start to know when your hair is moisturized versus when it's not moisturized. Number two, you're gonna wanna go ahead and get your trims done regularly. Getting your trims done regularly means knowing how long you can go before your split ends start to travel right up the shaft. So for me, when I was on the beginning of my length retention journey, I was actually avoiding my trims, and that led to the detriment of my hair, which is why I got stuck at shoulder length. So if you're stuck at a length or you want to grow your hair past the length that it's currently at, then perhaps you might want to consider getting your trims. And I know this is counterintuitive, but it really does help to keep your ends looking good and to help them grow out as healthily as possible. Number three, protective styles are your best friend, especially when they're styled and taken care of properly. So my favorite set of protective styles are usually twists. I find they're very easy to put on my strands and very easy to remove as well without actually causing or imparting further damage onto my fragile and fine strands. Number four, you're gonna wanna go ahead and avoid over manipulating and over styling your hair. Yes, this also applies to over touching your hair. If you're anything like me, you've got a serious case of hand in hair syndrome, and honestly, curl friends, that really just causes breakage, it causes moisture loss, and it's really just not good if you're trying to attain any type of length in your natural hair journey. Now, if you're wondering what this is right here, it's actually my You Go Natural head wrap, which is a fantastic way to keep my hands out of my hair. Number five, you're gonna wanna consider using specialized split end treatments. So I personally really love the Organic Split End Therapy. I use it all the time. Every single wash day I use it. I apply it to my ends. Now, this particular product is actually not going to repair your ends, but it's going to prevent your ends from splitting. So if you are getting your trims, if you are protecting your hair once you get your trims and then you go ahead and you use this, this is another layer of protection against actually getting even more splits. And if you're interested in any of the products that I've mentioned today, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and leave links down below. So go ahead and check out the description box for access to those links so that you can get yourself some better hair care as well too. Curl friends, give me a yes in the comment box down below if you want an entire product review and tutorial on how to use the Organic Split End Therapy treatment. Six, you're gonna wanna go ahead and protect your hair at night. So protecting your hair at night means wearing a bonnet, but if you wanna take it a step further, you can also go ahead and use a satin scarf to tie down your hair. So whatever style you're going to be preserving for the next day, tie down your hair with your satin scarf, and then apply your bonnet on top of it, your satin bonnet or your silk bonnet on top of it. If you want to add a third layer of protection against split ends, then you can also invest in sleeping on a satin or silk pillowcase. As you can see from this video right here, I actually really love wearing my satin bonnet. I like to protect my hair. Even on my couch, I wear my satin bonnet because you'd be surprised just how easily fine and fragile natural hair can break off. So my best advice to you, if you're following my strategies and what's helped me retain my length, is to go ahead and always wear your bonnet or some type of a hair covering when you're at home and just, chilling for the day. For super beautiful, kinky, curly, and coily hair, you're gonna wanna consider protecting those gorgeous coils in a stretched state, a very healthy stretch state. So for me personally, I love to use my Revere for this because it allows me to keep my hair in a stretched state, which also allows me to keep my ends kind of, organized and not just kind of growing on each other and getting all tangly and breaking off. Another way that you can use if you're not interested in purchasing the Revere, which if you are interested in purchasing the Revere, you could definitely, there's a coupon code down below for 10% off the Revere for you as well, for the Curlfriend crew. But if that's not in your budget right now to purchase a Revere, then there are heatless methods for you to use as well, including, the stretching method, so the banding method rather. That means just taking the hair and then applying like hair scrunchies all the way down the shaft, which will give you a more elongated curl once you remove the bands from your hair. Another option is to braid your hair. Another option is to flat twist your hair. There are so many different options for stretching out your natural curl pattern, but beyond getting the length, the look of longer natural hair, you're also going to enjoy less split ends, which is exactly what we're here for. Number 8, you're gonna wanna deep condition your hair regularly with either a protein or a moisturizing deep conditioner. Now, this is a really important step because fine and fragile natural hair really requires moisturization. It requires regular use of proteins in order to keep it into its most optimal state and to keep the split ends at bay. And if you are doing your deep condition treatments, for me personally, I do deep condition my hair every single week. But if every single week is too frequent for your schedule, then you can certainly deep condition your hair every 2 weeks as well. Number 9 is kind of related to number 8, which is to consider using an AphoG protein treatment. Now, I'm not affiliated to the company in any way, shape, or form. I've just noticed that for me, this really tends to work very, very well. And so I like to, put the Curlfriend crew onto things that have been working well for me because chances are likely it might work well for you too. If you are in need of a protein treatment, I would suggest using the AphoG treatment, but you wanna use it very seldomly. It's not a product that you wanna use very often. I use mine about every 3 to 6 months on an as-needed basis when my hair is feeling, like it needs a little extra something. Number 10 is to stop using bobby pins and different hair accessories / tools that have sharp edges. So those sharp edges are actually very dangerous for your strands. They do cause split ends and breakage because it's literally ripping the hair strand apart. So the same way how if your hand touches a sharp object and you get a cut on your skin, it's the same thing with your hair. If your hair comes into contact with abrasive materials the little sharp ends on those bobby pins when the soft piece falls off, or even those barrettes, the sharp edges, your hair is going to definitely suffer from that as well too, in the same way that you would if you were to have a cut from a knife. So to avoid all of that, if you do see any accessories or bobby pins in your collection that have those sharp edges, I would say either donate it or just toss it out. Are you ambitious and willing to level up your entire life? If that sounds like you, then I've got a treat for you. I actually have a secret society on Facebook of women who really just want to do exactly just that. Level up. If you want in, then definitely go ahead and check out the description box down below for a link to join that secret Facebook society. If you like this video, go ahead and hit up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and let me know in the comment section, are any of these tips actually useful? What's your hair regimen like for, tackling those split ends? Go ahead and check out these videos next for even more solid natural hair advice about fine and fragile natural hair. Thank you so much for watching, Curlfriends. I will see you in the next video on Sunday. Bye!